Namaste, everyone. Welcome, and good morning. This is Elder Medicine Bear Claw, and welcome to my channel. Let's see how many people come into the community and we can talk and see how everybody is. Shame on me, I forgot to take my medicine. Let me invite or less anybody wants to come and join in. You know, you're more welcome to come in and join and, and talk. Tell me your experience and let's have a good day, a good morning. All right. Now, let's see. Okay. Well, if anyone who wants to join, I'm going to post it and we'll see how it goes. All right. How was everybody's morning? I believe it's almost noon or is noon in other places. Danse, CP. Good morning, honey. How are you? Thank you for joining. For some reason, it doesn't let me put it on Squatch Topic PA, so I don't know. And I really thought yesterday was Thursday. Busy day with grandkids. Keep me going. Oh, yes. Majority of mine are in school or packing for college. So excuse me. I'm good. I am still sore, like when I get up, where the plate is by my femur bone and my hip. It's I still struggle to get up a little, but the bone is healed, and they said that we can remove it maybe in a year or like maybe 6 months down the line. I don't think so. I'll just deal with more things in my legs. So as it is, I got 2 knees that have titanium in them. So nope, I'm good. No more surgeries for me. I'd rather give birth than go through that again. I told that to my husband. He says, we can't have no more babies. What's wrong with you? You're 62 years old and we don't need no more babies. We want to enjoy each other more now. Like for me, going in the airport, I'll trigger off the metal detectors. But if it gets too hard or too heavy on me, because after a while when I'm really tired, I start walking like this, and my husband said, don't do that. You always never do that. But this since after getting out of the coma and then the broken leg, it's been a journey. Danse, John, how are you? You know, if you want to get in, there's a link if you're not busy. But things are good. I slept till, oh gosh, I went to bed after I had dinner. Oh goodness, that was so embarrassing. Came home, talked to my bestie for a little bit, and then I crashed. And I woke up at 8 o'clock or 8:10, and the house was really, really quiet. And then so I woke up and I'm like, why is this house quiet? I didn't hear no cars go by. Oh, I woke myself up, my mind. Why is it too quiet? Why is it so quiet here? Okay. Well, I'm glad she's resting. I do keep her in my prayers. Oh, goodness. Well, I do want to thank everyone. Um, I received another $3 donation, and thank you for that. I am so glad that, people do that, but, it's really not necessary. And this kind person said, he says, if I can, I would. I said, when I emailed him back, and I says, no, 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 no need. You and your wife need. He says, no, she said to send you, but I didn't hear the amount. So I apologize. I should have sent more. I said, no, it's okay. Then they asked me about if I do, what kind of jewelry do I do? Well, I do a lot of beading, leather, depending what she wants. If she wants a choker or a beaded necklace or a chest plate or the feathers to hang down. Um, what else? The earrings, the headbands. So, and they said they would get back to me. I said, okay. And then one of our relatives here, she's from Mexico over by Chihuahua. So she's a native, but in a Mexican way, not indigenous. It's a Mexican native. So, and I told my husband, aren't you Chow Chow too? But not it's Chow Chua. And I said, okay. She wanted, her dad used to be a medicine man, and he told her that when a woman is a medicine person, their field explodes out like an ivy and they become more powerful. So she said that if I could make her a protection medicine bag. And I told her, of course, I will. Um, and I told her, the price. And she said, but I gave her, when I was doing the discount one, the $80, that's what I told her. Until you can make it in small payments. And she said, thank you. Oh, it's okay. No worries. Um, there might be some times I'll make a video too, by myself without the community and stuff. I want to, when I do that, I'm going to do, talk about certain things in stories. So that way it is put out there. But you went for a picnic. Nice. That sounds nice. That's really nice. I know that things get very hard sometimes for many people to get around and stuff, or because of the rain that's going on. So it is important, but sometimes even in the rain, maybe I'll tell you this story. It was me and my 15 kids. Yes, 15. I have 3 normal, and the rest I adopted. I brought them all up with me. I even put some in college. They, we went up we were at the res, Black Fleetwood Mountain, and we were staying with Mama Rainfeather. And this was in the summer, and I said to the kids if they wanted to learn how to hunt. So we did. We went to hunt, and when we get up more to the oak tree, and there's an oak tree, and then there's lots of pine. And she's like, wait a minute. One of my daughters, her name was Dee, and she says, Mom, what is this funny tree? And I said, what do you mean these funny trees? She says, well, isn't this a walnut tree? I said, yeah, that's a walnut tree. But then you have like Christmas trees over here. No, those are pine. She says, they look like Christmas trees. I said, well, go smell it. She went and smelled it. It smells like Christmas tree. I said, okay. Now, mind you, these kids are from 7 all the way up to 14. And I'm just looking at all of them, and they're each of them in a line. And then they hug the tree. We can't put our arms around it because the tree is, it's as big as a car wide. And they were saying, well, this tree don't smell. And I said, all trees smell. Excuse me. And then they were like, well, how come this one doesn't smell? And then I said, come on, we're going to go up more. We're going to go by the chief head. And, the rock, it looks like a chief. I said, yeah, we're going to hike up there. So we went up more, not even 100 yards. I'm tired. I go, my goodness. Here I'm in my middle age. And you guys are younger than me. Come on, let's go. And then, why did you bring your medicine stick? You could have spanked us with it. I'm gonna if you don't start walking up. So they did. The boys already got up there. It was the girls that were lagging. I'm tired. How much further? But we got to one point where I said, okay, it's right here. Let's make a circle. And we'll all sit on the ground. We all sat on the ground, and I had some tobacco in my pouch on my right side, and I put it on the ground, and they started, and I put my hand out, and then I said the prayer. So, and then it went down to them saying the prayer too. So I was really pleased knowing that my children were praying but saying it in English. That made me proud. Then the 4 younger ones kept looking like this, and their eyes got so big, and they're like, Mama, Mama. And I'm like, wait, I'm not done with and I'm telling with my hand as I'm still speaking. And then I'm done. I said, I know they're here, so just be quiet. And she's like, hi, boogeyman. My youngest, which is Serena, said, she stood up, hi, boogeyman. I said, it's not a boogeyman. It looks like a boogeyman, Mom. Then the other 3 were, it's ugly. And I said, don't be like that. That's not nice. Choose your words wisely, please. I didn't teach you those. And he goes, but Mama, he's tall. He's taller than you. I said, okay, yes, they are tall. So they kept that. My son, he looked up and he said, can I go play with him? I'm like, oh goodness, no, you can't. Because can I wave? Rena did. Said, hi, boogeyman. I said, stop calling them a boogeyman. They're called satangas. And they, Satanga? No, satanga. And they're like, okay, are you gonna hurt us? And then you could hear it. That's how they laugh. And I was like so happy that my children were actually interested in a satanga and trying to communicate. Now these are the four younger ones. The other ones were like, Mom, are we safe? Do we need to climb a tree? I'm like, they know how to get to the tree before you do. They were just laughing and like, I think because they were like scared laugh. Okay, and they all started getting around me, and I'm like, don't give me some room to breathe. And then the four younger ones were still on my left side, just sitting there looking, and everybody's like standing up behind me, and they're not gonna harm you, don't worry. Then my son goes, well, can I come a little close? I said, no. They're fine from a distance, they say. And then I go, now, remember what's inside the backpack? Yeah, we have water, we have apples, we have crackers. Okay. So each of them got 1 graham cracker and an apple and a bottle of water. And then I said, now I'm gonna go, you stay here. I'm gonna be where that stump is. That's too far, Mama. That's too far. Don't leave us here. Your sister is here to watch you, and I can see you from behind me. And she says, okay. So I started going up a little bit more where the stump was. And I put out 4 graham crackers and 4 apples. Then I walked back and we're sitting there. And I said, okay, back in our circle, come on. And they're all looking at me. But yet my other son, I'm looking back. And then my daughter goes, Mom, I feel uncomfortable. Now, this is my oldest. She was, I don't agree with this. And I said, it's not going to do nothing. I promise you. Why is it staring at us? Don't look over there. So after everybody gave me their attention and we're all together and I'm like, okay, now take a bite of your cracker. I'm going to take one too. And then my son, Buddy, which has always been infatuated with them, he tracks too, and he knows when they are around or not. He's looking like this, seeing if they're. He takes a bite of the apple and looks. Mom, they took it. They took it. His eyes were so big and so exciting. I mean, I was so happy to see my son's expression, and he's like, "Oh, what is it?" There was a little one, and it was staying by the tree, but I could see like peekaboo, like just like this. So I told my son, "Shh, you have to be quiet." So okay, and then we're all taking a bite of apples. And then you hear tree snapping. And I said, okay, you're welcome. Nesta esta neta. So it was a beautiful and blessed day. Now, they were so pleased, but yet frightened. Um, Three of them accidentally potty their panties or their boxers because they got scared thinking, and I told them I would never bring them somewhere where they get scared. So, and then um, when they noticed that the apples and the crackers were gone, they go, "Can we go over there?" I go, "You can go over there now," because they already left. And my son was over there, and he's like, "Boy, he's coming after me now." So they were all around the tree. I don't see anything. I don't see not even a crumb. But you know what? The joy watching my children's expression made a print in my heart. And they to this day they still remember. Some of them won't speak of it. They said I got really, really scared. I'll say 8 of them were more excited. Yeah, I'll say that. But it was fine. Oh, Dilihi's in here. See what I miss. Tanse, Dilihi. Oh no. The porter keeps eating the back of your head. I'm going. Help me, help me. No. I was trying to put the picture of my forest that I go up, but it wouldn't let me. Oh, can you not stay too? I really I love you too. Um, yes, I mean, there is many. The ones that really gone with me to learn tracking was 2 of the girls and then 4 of the boys. My son was the one that really stand out, and he um, he always was very interested in it. Um, he goes, "Mom, do they know how to make fire in case they're cold?" I said, "Yes, they do. But don't let other people tell you no, because many people in this world do not understand who they are because they're just coming out and they're just making themselves known a little bit. But they're very, very cautious. They don't like to show themselves to anyone unless you have experience with them." And he says, "Okay." And then William will say, "Well, Mom, why do they smell? Don't they take baths or showers? Don't they need a haircut? Their hair is really long." I'm telling you, just listening to them say these things, I'm like, okay, they're paying attention how they look. Now, William is my adopted one, and he says he when he goes up the mountain, he just goes up there to hike with his girlfriend now to these days, and he's in North Carolina, and he says, Mom, I believe there's some here, but I don't look for them. My girlfriend and I do hike up there, and he's been with this young girl since he was 19, and she has a home close to the mountain. So he said he wanted to go with her, and to this day, he's still there. They're still together, never been married. No, he says, it's just a piece of paper. I don't need it. He says, as long as our relationship is good, but we do have our days, Mom. I said, that's okay. Everybody does. It doesn't matter. There is no perfect one. Even the creator didn't have a perfect one, but he did his best to help others. So, oh, PA wants to come in the house.
Oh,
Tansei.
this is what they do when they watch you.
Uh-huh. That's why my son was
Yeah.
saying,
Oh, it's lagging. I knew it was going to do that if I went on the link right here.
you're good. How are you?
Better.
And Chulo, how's she doing?
Oh, man. It's lagging.
Um,
Can you send me the link through Messenger real quick? Because it's doing that lagging thing real bad like it did before.
okay. Let me I do it on my phone.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, there's just 4 of us here, so it's not like
Oh, that's weird because you're talking and I'm hearing what you said a couple seconds ago at the same exact time.
let's see.
And me too. Wow, this is weird. I'm leaving.
Okay, it's let me try this one. Where am I? Okay. I already have it. Let me go Messenger. Da, da, da. Why is it doing this? Uh-uh. Boy, my messenger just went off. I don't know what happened. Okay, do I need to log back in? Let's see. That one's that one. That one's that one. And Tansei, Pat, welcome. I'll be right with you. I am trying to send in. Okay, let me do it like that. See if it comes in. There we go. Error. Please try again later. Wow. Look page. Go to Messenger. There we go. There we are. Open you up. And paste it. There you go. I did it. Okay, did you get it, Ilihi? Well, I hope you like that story because that's one of my favorites. I did ask permission from my kids, the ones that went with me on certain times. And they said, "Oh, Mom, you're crazy." She goes, "You're even to this day, you still." One of my daughters like, "You're gonna end up getting hurt, Mama, and it scares me." Let's add him to the stage. There we go.
Ba-doink-a-doo. Howdy do. How are you?
They go like this,
Huh? Huh? Oh.
like half of your eye. But the young ones, they just put their head out there sometimes
Oh yeah.
because they don't. They're as curious as our own children. But yes,
Actually,
all my
you could trick them, the juveniles. You could trick them to pop their entire head out.
yeah.
If you can entertain them enough
Mhm.
and you put on a good enough show for them, they slip up. But you really, really got to work it.
It's hard sometimes. So even for them to show you their part of their face or something. But the juveniles, the real little juveniles, they're they're a trip. They are really a trip
And I'm
because
telling you, like when you're out there, they're already watching you. So I'll use my phone as a tree. All right. So I hate these cameras. All right. So there you go. Let me. Damn, darn it. Wait, let me keep my phone still. All right, because I keep moving my phone. Wait,
that's because you
there
got
we
your
go.
360 on, huh?
No, I don't. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
So they're like this. They're going like they're supposed to go like that. Just lean a little taste. Just lean, get the corner of your eye out, and come back.
right.
When the wind blows, when your leaves are moving, the branches are moving, they'll sway to it like that.
Uh-huh.
They'll go right with the movement of the way the trees are moving. They'll mimic it and they'll rock right along with it and watch you with it. But what I like to do is I talk like a little kid. I sing and dance around like a buffoon and act like a little kid. Now, these older squatchers out there, the older folks, they look at me and think I'm a bumbling idiot. Look at this guy. He's out there acting like a 5-year old. Yeah. Look at the pictures I have and look at the blob squatches you have. So
CP
I'm
says
out there. I'm holding
those are
pineapple in one hand, bag of apple in the other. I'm dancing around, you know. I'll be like this. I'll be like, pineapple or an apple. Which one do you want? Both of them are healthy. You know, I make up little jingles and stuff, and I dance around with their food. I shake it at them. I roll apples down the hill at them and to the trees that they're at. You know, there's a lot that goes on off of camera
right.
that I refuse. There's a lot I refuse to record because I
Well,
don't want to be laughed at.
two, that's disrespecting them
What?
because if you keep recording them and they'll get mad.
Mm-hmm.
They will stay back. But when it's just you interacting with them, you're giving them more of a power to trust you. When like with me, I'll sing and I'll dance and I'll sometimes I'll bring the drum and I'll as I'm dancing and singing and they'll just look from the distance. But when I took my kids up there, this one was an older one, and she had two little juveniles with her. So the next time when I went with the four boys, and we were like looking up the ways, one of them kind of slipped, and I said, "You can't go up like this. You have to go like a side." And they said,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, Mom, okay," because when rain falls, it still makes it very moist, and you end up sliding. So we were going up diagonal, and sure enough, my son goes, "What is that smell?" And my
I know what
older
you're
son
talking
goes,
about.
"Yes, they're closed." Well, calm down, buddy. Calm down. He says, "Mama, they're here. I can smell them too." And he's like, looks that way, and he pauses, and he's like, what was I gonna say? I said, "I don't know. You kind of like, maybe they're trying to read you because they seen how excited you got." So, and he goes, "Oh, Mama, can I climb this tree and swing?" I'm like, "Oh my goodness, why?" Because that's a vision I got in my head. I'm like, okay. So a lot of time they will give you a vision of them in their mind.
You know, I had a strange thing happen before. I had a reoccurring dream for over a month, and I had it every 3 or 4 days for a whole month, and it was the same exact dream. I was following a cynocephaly. It was on two legs the whole time. It was walking through these woods, and I was following it deeper and deeper, and it kept stopping and turning around and looking. It wasn't hiding behind trees or nothing. It kept stopping, turning around, looking at me to keep assurance that I kept following it. And then that's all the dream was. But the entire dream, I am following the cynocephaly. And it's not one that I've seen down here, it is a brown one. And the only ones I've seen down here are white, gray, and black.
Sure, what it's a female.
I don't know. I've only seen gray, black, and white.
It's a,
This one's
it's
like a brownish red hue, like a chocolate color, but it was a cynocephaly, not a squash. And it kept turning around and making sure I was following it. I had that dream for over a month straight, every few days.
well, when you're down below at the campsite, ask them, what does the vision mean? I'm not understanding. Why is it? One of them will tell you. CP was asking, doesn't that get them in trouble with the older ones? Yes, CP.
I correct the
Like,
little ones, I see them when they're cloaked, and you could tell because they're smaller, and you see them when they move, and I'll
mm-hmm.
correct them. When I see a move, I'll point at them. I always go, I seen you. You're not supposed to move when I'm looking your way. Only when my back is turned. I do that. I tell on them. I tell them about themselves. And I have a question for you in particular.
Okay.
What are these?
Turn it the other way, Sam, a little more.
I know it's like Fremont era type, but what creatures are these depicting? I'm trying to get light. Let me.
They okay. One is a male, one's a female, and one is a child. And the female looks like she is a medicine person because the way they have the loops and going down.
And get dollar frame at the Dollar Tree for it.
And then you see how so it is also can stand for wind glows. And they do they have 6 fingers? Or
1,
5?
2, 3. There's 5 fingers on them. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they all have 5. They all
Where
have
did you
5
get that
fingers under our bed here. But Jim's wife bought this a long time ago in Arizona. And then the shield has a a type of star on it. It's doubles, and then in the middle of it, there's a crescent moon in it. You can barely see it.
Okay, yeah, that's a Wingalo. That's a family of a Wingalo.
Oh
Because right
shit!
now, the It and Wingalos and Shapeshifters are coming out in Arizona and New Mexico, and then the Mexico borders on the other
I
side.
was thinking about gifting this rock to down there and see if they'd like it. I don't think I should.
They will tell you. They will tell you if it's welcome or not.
Yeah, if they'll smash it or not, or hit me
Nope.
with it.
No, just tell them you have spoken with me and Mama Bear Claw says what it is, and it's just a design on a rock. Would you like it? If not, tell me. If you leave it there, then that means you didn't want it.
See, two things came to my mind. It was either Wendigo or Cynocephala. But I was leaning away from Cynocephala because of how high up they went.
Yeah. No, that's a Wingalo, and that's exactly how they look. But the man should have like almost as a whole rack. But since now, as Mama told me and Mama Rainfeather told me, there's a certain clan of a Wingalo that was pushed out.
Well, I did send you the picture of this last night.
Oh, I haven't even really. I mean, I went to
Yeah, I
bed so
sent it to
early.
you last night. It was like 11 o'clock here, so you're like a couple hours behind me. But I sent it to you last night. I wrote, "Mama, what is this?" I know what era. But what creatures is this?
It's
Because I didn't know if it was the Cynocephala or if it was a Wendigo, and I didn't know if it was a cursed symbol.
no, it's not a curse. But
Well, I get
yeah,
to tell Julie what it is now.
that's a Wingalo.
She'll be thrilled to know that.
Actually, you know what? This is the mother, and these are two. This is a young. The one on the right is a teenager. That's not a father, and then the little one. So there's not a father, because a father one will have the same thing as her, the long like earrings, and then
Yeah.
he will have a V up here and then as down below. So this is a teenager. Someone
Chad.
tried. Yeah.
She didn't hear me. Does those symbols on their clothing, they have specific meanings, don't they?
Yes.
Because I know things ain't just put on for nothing.
No, they have symbols mean something. So
Guess what they are?
Huh.
Take a wild guess what they are. Wendigo.
Ah,
Did you hear her reaction? She said, "Ah."
yeah.
We were up all night long on Google. We took pictures of that rock. We did a lens search on it, and we were finding petroglyphs and all this all over it. And we was finding pictures, just like you were explaining, with the hair on the chin and down below, and to show maturity and whatnot. We were seeing all that, and I was like trying to figure out, well, the meaning of that. And then we noticed that some of them had them branched off, and I was like, well, look, Fab, some here actually have antlers branching off of them. So those ones are the Wendigos. But are these ones Wendigos too, or are these cynocephali? But these are too high to be ears.
Plus, you will see if it is, if it was a dog, female or male. Like I said, there is a female. You will see the difference.
Do you think that'd be a good gift?
I would advise to ask them, because you don't want to bring in something to trigger.
Right on, right on. I feel you.
Because then, even though you've had such a good connection over the 17 years, that can make a step down. So I would say ask. You inform them I have a rock with a design, and I asked Mama Bear Claw, and she said this is it. But they've been pushed to the side, because the reason I say that is because they don't have most of their designs on them. Because a Wingalo,
So,
you would see many different ones, and
so
they
pretty much in this design here, the way this is, so these are ones who were banished from their clan.
right, because she doesn't have a male.
I'm keeping, since we're talking about it, I'm holding it up so everyone can see what we're talking about.
And what it is, it's the female on the right and the male on the left. She's on the left, he's on the right. So it is like a teen, and then you got a juvenile in the middle. Tansei, Jackie, Robin, thank you for joining.
Jackie! What's up? Everybody. Well, I'm trying to keep this away. Since this is what we're talking about, I'm trying to keep it and where you can see it in the frame. It's probably better looking at than me. I hate cameras.
Yeah,
Tennessee has the same problem as me with cameras. Let me just set this here, and I'll just hold it like this. Boo boo. There, that works. All right, maybe not. There. Camera. There we go. There we go.
my goodness.
So that's what we've been talking about.
Trying to delete all this.
And this is from the oh man, I forgot the name already.
Wingle.
Brain fart. Yeah, Wingalo. But I was talking about the era. This is these depictions that were like 3,000 years ago. That they're predated like before the flood, before the Great Flood occurred, and I forgot the name of the indigenous peoples there. Man,
Navajo.
no.
Many of the
Before that, were called Navajo. That it was before the flood. The river that goes down through there, it was named after them. It goes down through Utah and all that. And that's where they have all those petroglyphs at, all through that region from before the flood. The Begins with S.
Before the flood, it was divided in 5 areas. Then you have the sin, and then it's Este.
I think that's it.
Meganesta is the corners, the 4 corners.
Because they were battling with the Moab.
Yeah.
That particular clan was battling with the Moab at that time.
And a lot of the Wingos came from up there.
Uh-huh.
And that's when they come to settle down on the other corner, which was Arizona. Because you have the California, Nevada, and Utah and Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the flooding came down, so they had to separate each one as they come. Indigenous natives, when I went back to look in the ledgers, a lot of things were missing. And it has to do with people. And then putting false documents for another one, and then when the elders go and look,
in American history, it's like that in the Bible even. That's why you have the Apocrypha, because they didn't like this and that, they remove it. That history is what man wants you to remember, and
okay,
they alter stuff. It's true.
your brother Sangas asked me to send him that print that my son had shared with me, and then he said he watched the video, and he says the cougar, where is that? And I'm going to tell you guys, for my sake of knowing all my knowledge and everything, listening to my ancestors, a cougar does not whistle. Google tells you it whistles. Cougars do not. When there is someone is trying to harm them, they do like a cat. That is not a whistle. If you Google it, when it, like he says, it's blowing whistle when scared and crazy, didn't know that. No. They will, and they will also give a high pitch. Now, if you're thinking that's a whistle, no, that's not a whistle. Us indigenous natives will tell you, no, that isn't. Somebody with knowing we're animals and tracking, they'll probably tell you that isn't either, if they really understand. But like I've been telling everybody, man made certain things in the Bible changed a lot. I even told you about the supper table. They changed that too, because we were there. We were in the background too.
Jesus' name. His name wasn't even Jesus. His name was Yahuwah. And then Jesus isn't even a translation of Yeshua. It's not. It's not even translated out of that, because there wasn't even a J in that era. J wasn't even invented until 500-600 years later. It's truth.
But everybody is Sansei Heather, welcome, honey.
Hey, Heather, what's up, buddy?
It's when you Google things and you want to know a certain kind of animal, say wingalo, you Google it, they're not going to give you the proper aspect of it. It's the image they believe what was in a story, again, man-made. Now, if you go to an elder and they speak of it, you better make sure you're asking the proper question to an elder, and you have to give permission. May I speak of it? Because we do not. That's why I have to think how to say things to be correct, because I don't want to be scolded by another elder for something I just went ahead and gave that
Certain
information.
subjects, when you go into in-depth detail of the nature of it, you have to take certain cleansing when you're speaking of it, because if you don't, you're inviting that spiritual entity in because you're opening up for it. I mean, but what that particular one is based off of hunger and cannibalism, yes. But when you have interest in that and you're trying to seek the knowledge on it, if you don't take certain precautions, just like the Bible says, the faith of a mustard seed can manifest into something severe, major. You know what I mean? That mustard seed gets planted. If those proper rituals aren't done, if the deep knowledge of it is open to you, and you obtain that, and something attaches to you, that mustard seed is there. And if you
Right.
may not realize it, it must not happen now. It might not happen until 5-10 years down the road. That mustard seed manifests, and you're in a situation that spirit takes you over. Next thing you know, you're in the grip, and you didn't know it's been following you all that time just because you didn't do it proper. That's the truth. That's why native elders take such responsibility in the way they speak of things, and they have so much secrecy on stuff, because it's respect to the spiritual realm, and it's the understanding and ramifications of just speaking of certain types of things. That's why, just like the other, we will not speak its name because of the power of its name. We do not want that mustard seed to manifest.
We're
I'm
not
sorry if
allowed.
that sounds abstract, but I think that's the truth.
You know, many of the indigenous tribals will say too. I have a nephew that has his videos too, and he goes, "Oh, if I say it, we get in trouble." Well, he has said it a couple of times for him to understand and to tell his people on his channel, and he does really good. But the thing is, he'll tell you, you got to talk to an elder to get the permission and make sure you are protected. Sometimes there are many indigenous males that fall off from his roots. They will listen to heavy metal, which is, I enjoy heavy metal too, but sometimes it goes deeper than that. And when you go too deep in that, and you're banging your head so bad and calling it out, and I promise you, with the next few hours, you're going to be smelling and seeing, because you welcome it to your mind. So, and if you live in the desert in Navajo res, or even say off the res, which is Arizona, that's mostly desert, they're going to come out from the caves, from the mountain, or out from the underground. There could be a little crack like this open on the desert. They're going to
Maybe
come out.
I know they come out of
They come
mines. I
out.
know.
They're come out like they're coming out of a grave, and then they get on all fours, spread out, and they'll
And
start.
they crawl like a spider.
They're very fast that way. And he got spooked. He really did. And that's why one of the elders gave him a good licking. So you know you're not supposed to even speak of it. But you have to have a blessing from an elder to really say, so you're protected. But he said,
Tomorrow,
I guess,
my encounter with the it comes out. I was supposed to have it released Wednesday, but I've been sick and I couldn't get it recorded because my voice has been so messed up. But I'm going to be recording it today since I'm better, and I'll be releasing it for tomorrow. It's going to be called the Stalker from the Abandoned Mine. It's a true story. I almost killed
now,
myself over that thing.
now the people say, like the thing on the rock, that's a Wingalo, but also there
The
will
rock.
be
They see what you're talking about again because Heather just came in. I gotta make sure she sees what you're talking about. I hate cameras.
and then they say that it could be a goat man, but no. Things that are out here are really, really dangerous species. That some will live with it, some will, to understand why or where it comes from. I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, let me take
Well,
this thing.
you know what's funny though, Mama? The way religion has depicted entities that have horns or whatnot, antlers or anything, it is automatically depicted as an evil
That's what a
omen.
male will look like.
But what it is like how they in religion they mark everything that has horns as an evil omen. What
Correct.
people don't realize is if you see a true image of what God is supposed to look like, Yahweh, he's supposed to have horns because horns is actually a sign of ultimate wisdom. Horns is a sign of wisdom and power. So, like, that does not mean evil. It means wisdom and it means power. Believe me, I study a lot more than cryptids. I study a lot of stuff. A lot.
Well, that's what I did since I was 6 years old. You know, um, Chief Red Hawk, Mama Rainfeather, Running Bear, um, Riding Bull, John Riding Bull. These are the elders, and they taught me very well. They said they are hard to kill, but you got to respect. These are also the creator's creatures. They live among us. It's just that people really have not been around to see them. A lot of indigenous have because we lived in the mountains. We actually interact with many things. Again, the Satangas have always protected us, taught us things, and gave great respect. So when you are with the people and giving our information, you can get banned from your res because you're being disrespectful and not unable to keep that honor, which a lot of us tell certain people things, and then that we tell you out of the sacred for what we were given. Then you go and say to someone else, and then someone else makes it more and more and more and more. And they say, okay, I got an idea. Maybe I can draw this and see how it is. That's the same thing with one of our artists in indigenous ways. We tell what we saw, and he sketches it. Then that is his initials signed as a signature, and then it's stamped. And it gets stamped by at least 4 tribals, because this is what is out there and we are agreeing. So we put it in with our ledgers. But again, a lot of the ledgers were missing along with the pictures. So this is why we say people have stolen again from us, and then we get questioned. Why are we being questioned? So
Have you heard? I've seen on TikTok something, and I've been wanting to ask you if you've heard anything about it. And the reason I'm wanted to ask you about is because of I think it was 1970 something. I think it was called Wounded Knee. You know what I'm talking about?
I can't speak of it.
I understand that, but you know what I'm talking about. Well, I seen on TikTok that someone big, big G, is trying to move uranium through Navajo land, and that's not allowed. So they're gonna be blocking off the road, so we can't have the uranium run through. And there's about to be battle. That's what I seen on TikTok, and it was Navajo posting it.
Again,
If you can't speak of it, I fully understand and respect.
I can't speak of that yet, because yes,
I
I do know
understand.
about it. We have spoken about many things, just like the Thunderbirds. So
Ooh, no, I'm scared of birds.
Thunderbirds were
I'm scared of birds.
those are sacred, and we can't speak of those. I know there was someone in the viewer asking about that too. So in the past videos before, and I said I can only give you a little information and not details of it.
Thunderbirds are pterodactyls, aren't they?
Area 51, welcome. That
Hey,
is
how's it
why
going,
people
51?
wear crowns, to remind them that their power comes from God.
Hallelujah.
I will tell you this, Area 51, the Creator has brought many cryptid creatures, and they've been here. It's just that
Hi,
many
beautiful.
humans have not really seen. A lot of the indigenous natives we have, and me being an elder, that I have seen many things, and I don't always tell my children or my children that I sponsor. Unless they are out somewhere investigating, then I'm going to speak of, because I will tell some stories, so that way everyone has a little bit of knowledge of it. There are times that I cannot speak of and say it, because then I can get reprimanded from an older elder than me. And a lot of the tribal nations, all nations around the world, has given me permission to have a channel and to speak of all this. And it's very, very powerful what cryptid can do. And when we ask the Creator to give us guidance to understand many of them, and it's very difficult to speak to others because they don't understand if I say it. Sometimes I might say it in my language, and I'm trying my hardest to say it in the English so you can understand. But again, it is very, very difficult. And if I am allowed to give information, then I can. But when it comes to certain things, I'm, again, I'm not allowed.
You're bound.
We have boundaries and I have to obey the law. So, and I hope that, many of the people understand that.
I
Because
do.
I know some people say, oh, you just don't want to share. You don't want to tell us. And I'm like,
Blue ones out here.
I can't tell you because I'm unable to.
Hey, buddy.
Bring it on. Luck.
Oh man, now Bingo wants out here. Come on, buddy. Okay.
We have Thunderbirds here in Washington State. Are you in Washington?
No. You ain't coming out here getting all talky. I'm live, buddy.
What nation do you come from? Area 51. I believe he was on here before.
I see Area 51, a lot of different groups that we follow. He's cool. He's always respectful in chats.
Yeah. I remember him, but I'm trying to remember. Sorry.
He's a good one.
I'm not trying to.
It's not one, it's Juan. I remember that. Area 51.
That's why I say Juan. It sounds like one when you say Juan.
It's a cool, unique name. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, Area 51's cool. Always respectful in the chats. I like that person.
I always respect native land. I don't mess with any of that. Thank you.
Yeah, just mess with it. Bad juju.
So I'm very honored that you respect us.
Hi,
And believe me, for many of I have met many other indigenous natives, and they live off the grid, off the res, or live on land, but they don't respect Mother Earth. So, and then they like, oh yeah, you know what? This is what, I heard our ancestors say this and that. And then when I hear that, I question them, and then I do my best not to read them. But if it's strong enough, I can read it and I can feel what they're saying and stuff. And sometimes it's not right. And they misuse their indigenous native ways, and they just want to do other where you don't understand, and then you want to hit that bottle and you want to pop that and smoke this and then drop it, and then next thing you know, you're on your own fantasy. So indigenous natives don't do that. They're someone else's native. Okay, you're saying that to either wreck or hurt us, because that's not what we all do. Welcome, BJ, Miss Adventure.
Hi, BJ.
I am Elder Medicine Bear Claw. I am the youngest elder. I'm 62. I'm the youngest elder for California. I come from Blackfeet Mountain Res, and I try to help communicate with all cryptid, Sapangas, and others. So, trying hard to give some information that I share with everyone. And when they do go out on Mother Earth and and do an investigation, to do it politely. And, you know, I want everyone to be safe when they're out there, you know, and I do protection medicine bags to those who care to get one and when they're on the field. So I know I remembered you, and plus I felt you, but you're good. You're all good. I did get another hate mail. Oh, and I knew who it's from too. We all know that person.
That person?
Baloney face.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Uh-oh.
But you know, that's okay.
What do you have to
Because
say?
my bag is full of. I said, you're cut off. I already knew it before you did it.
My bag is full of love, blessing, and protection. And
you
I
have
had this bag for so long, and I could still smell the cinnamon and spice. I'm telling you, I can still smell the essence because I have a bag inside a bag, and I can
Yes.
still smell the essence through the bag.
You were honored to a second bag as my son. Yes. BJ says I'm part Mohawk from the Eastern Orano, Canada. Danse. Blackfeet Mountain in Canada, we all mutual the same. And as we say, okay, means the same thing as danse. I
Okay.
speak 9 languages, and I understand them all. So much blessings and welcome to my channel. But we're here to enjoy and share many stories. I was just sharing a story earlier of me and my 15 kids. I have 3 that are blood and others that I had adopted, and I took them up with me when I was in Blackfeet Mountain, and to a few of my sons and daughters, they seen a satanga and they're like, trying to do the peekaboo, and the young one. But it's an awesome story. I have many more. This is the reason why I have my channel, because my beautiful Mama Rainfeather always will be a part of me. She was 94.
She
Very
didn't look
tall.
it.
No.
She didn't ask it.
Oh no, she
Trying to
cussed.
the things she tried to have you translate to men. Oh my.
Oh, you know, someone can be so serious. Okay, like for instance, I'll tell you another story about her. This is a
I'll show you her
highway patrolman, and I'm driving, and she's smoking from her pipe, and he sees the smoke going from the window, and I have mine down. I don't do that. Wow. He said I was speeding. I'm like, well, it's 65. I was doing what, 74, 75? He pulled me over, and when I seen him touch the back of my car, and they came up and he said license and registration, she picked some of her herb out of her bag and pots her little pot, and she's lighting it right in front of the officer. And he says, excuse me, ma'am, she says. I go, she's speaking native tongue. were Blackfeet. And he says, oh, okay. Does she have a card, a marijuana card for it? And I said,
I'm
oh,
trying to get the camera.
Shiloh has Mama Rainfeather's feather.
Almost always.
Mhm.
Almost.
Sorry, you caught me cleaning and I can't breathe right now because of my bronchitis. So I'm a little out of breath.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the
She
highway
wears
patrol,
she
the
wears
highway
those feathers every day.
I know she does. The highway patrolman, I think his name was Gonzalez, and he says, do you want to step out? I'm like, what is the purpose of me pulling over? I wasn't really over the speed limit. And I go, and this is Mama Rainfeather. She's 93 years old, and I'm taking her to the airport. Okay. He asked for her ID. She brings out, oh, Canada. And then she brings out for Montana. Which one do you want? I'm telling him, which one do you want? So he's like, oh, she's not a resident here. I said, no, she's visiting. Okay. Can you translate? Go, you could talk to her in English. She'll talk to you in the language, and I'll tell what she says. So he goes, ma'am, do you understand? It might not be really legal, but you cannot be doing this. So she says, who in the F do you think I am to do what you say, but I can still do the F and blah, 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 all the bad words when it's mine.
It sounds like me. What I'd say.
I looked at her and I said, Nesta, she said she wants me to tell you, who F are you to tell her what she can do and cannot do? And he said, what? I go, he says, you're insulting me. So I need to arrest you. And then here comes another highway patrol pulled over. Okay. And he looked at put his head down. This officer is an indigenous native and he's mixed. So he comes over and he says, he looked at Mama Rainfeather, looked at me, and he says, what are you two doing? I'm taking Mama Rainfeather to the airport. She's going back to Canada, and then from Canada, she's going to the Blackfeet Res. And then he talks to the officer and then says, she assaulted me. Do you know who this lady is? He goes, no. This lady is so known in the tribal nation. If you arrest her or detain her, we're going to have many tribals coming after us. And sure enough, he comes in, he goes, I apologize. And she says, Nenako este okoya. In other words, I don't want to touch white man's hands. And he told you, the other patrolman said, be nice, don't allow the tongue get wild. And she just laughed. And she kept on smoking her little pea pipe. And I'm like, can we go? You can go, Miss Gomez. Go ahead. So, okay. That highway patrolman was my husband's third cousin. So that's how, and it was his supervisor. Yes, my husband is half Mexican and half Chow Chow. So, but they don't really, Tonga. They really don't he doesn't really know much of his history, but he's more Mexican than that, and that's okay. And his cousin says, behave. I go, I didn't do nothing. He seen the smoke. That's because of mama. Because I know. But, it. I can tell you many stories this woman has put me in the bind. But, that is Mama Rainfeather. She doesn't act her age. She's got a mouth worse than military men. She will tell it like it is, and she does protect the ones she really loves. So even when I was in the hospital and I went to have surgery to remove the cancer from my spine, I went into a coma too, and she told the doctor and all the medical people there, and told them, the administrator, that I'm going to smudge her and we're going to be praying, because they were saying, no, only 2 people can go in. No, there was 15 people there, and she smudged me, and she
There was
prayed over.
actually a big argument over that because the hospital didn't approve of it, and then the only way you guys were able to trump it was the freedom of religion. You guys had to bring in the Constitution on it to trump it because they didn't want nobody burning sage or anything in the hospital room. I remember all that.
Because they were saying, oh, it's an instinct, or what, instinct that you burn to make your house smell nice. And she was telling them no, and my daughter had to speak in English to them to understand. And I heard it was, and my
No,
husband
your
was like,
daughter threatened to sue them for violation of a constitutional protected right.
yeah, gee, they were really. And then when they transferred me, because when they pulled the tube out, I was okay, but they transferred me to it was
Where that nurse drops you.
yeah, I needed to use the restroom, and I was like, okay. They had took out the catheter, and then I said, well, I need to use the restroom, and next thing you know, she dropped me, broke my whole leg. I had
No,
to have
she told
knee.
you that you can do it yourself. She told you, well, you can walk yourself, and then she dropped you. Because you
Yeah,
specifically told her that you couldn't feel your legs. And she says, oh, you can move your legs. And then she let you go.
I had a
I
knee
remember all
replacement,
that.
broke my femur bone in three ways, and my hip bone. So, but this is still, I'm after all that, and
You're still recovering.
I'm still recovering. Yeah, as it is. This is my hospital bed here. I can walk somewhat. I'm now starting to put pressure on my feet so I can learn to walk better. I am doing okay. I'm in physical therapy. They expect me to do a crab walk in circles, and it is so hard. And I tell them, no, I can't do it. I'll do it once or twice. No, I can't do it today. Sorry.
You know, Mama was going to come out and spend 2 or 3 weeks with us here. She was scheduled to come out on October, actually. She was supposed to come out last October, and she was going to spend 2 or 3 weeks with us here. She was going to come squatching in the woods with me. She was going to spend time in the camp with me. She was going to hang out with her grandchildren and my wife. We were going to feast. We were going to have a beautiful time. It was all planned. And then because of that nurse, she was incapable of travel.
Yep. I still don't have clearance. And I'm like, well, I can walk better. I can just, even the kids, they, from a second hand, got me a scooter. My husband and my children, they all got money together for me to use a scooter to, you know, because I can't walk distance. It's
There's a
just
chairlift here, by the way.
also, it didn't stop me from doing, you know, ceremonies. I need to do a burial ceremony. That didn't stop me. But I had people, you know, I used my scooter to go down the wharf, and I said, oh gosh, how am I going to get in there? How am I going to stand in the boat? I said, Karita, you got to give me the strength. You got to give me the strength. But I had 3 gentlemen actually help me in the boat. And then when I needed to smudge and put down tobacco before I release the young lady, and then do the singing and another prayer and smudge everybody. And then I had set her off in the ocean. So then after that, coming back, and this is a little tugboat. I mean, you can go all the way like this, and I could touch the water because the waves were really, really choppy. And then too, you see this big old boats. I guess they're racing. It said USA, and another one said Australia, going through San Francisco. And I was like, oh my God, it's gonna make us. So I'm trying to balance myself. I'm standing with my legs apart like this. I have one man right here, and I have another man behind me just in case if I fell in or side to side backwards. And then it was a good ceremony. They helped me out of the tugboat and brought me my scooter, and I went up. But I tell you what, being in the scooter made me feel sad. I said, no, I can walk. No, you can't. I don't want you to get hurt more than what you are, and you already still want to do this ceremony. The reason why I want to do that ceremony because this older lady comes from Blackfoot Mountain, and she's from the Brez there, and she left it in 1950. So, and she met her husband here in San Jose then, and she had been married to him, and she died with a broken heart. I
Julie's
buried
grandma. I'm sorry.
I had buried her husband 3 years ago, and then now this year, or this past Christmas she passed, but I did the ceremony this year. They wanted to wait to see how much I've recovered, and then she had said, can you please, Mama Bear Claw? I said yes, and I was honored. I've been lucky to have great nurses and doctors, but I hear horror stories about bad practice, and had only one person, a nurse, act weird with me because he was trying to hit on my girlfriend.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
messed up.
they they do get you know, I was a nurse myself. I'm a retired nurse, so I treated everybody equal. And if they didn't have insurance, I still pushed it in because I know that many times it was hard. I have 26 years in my belt, and 2006 was my last year. So that tells you how long it's been now. But I was a travel nurse when I moved. My husband and I moved. And then he says, let's go to California. We moved to California. And there, I place whatever. I still have my license. And, you know, I still have my nursing bag. And I still help people around here where I live. Some are the elders, some are the young kids with asthma, or I still do whatever. I still do medicine from my native ways, and I still help out. I like to keep myself busy. Go, 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 go. Mama Rain Feather says, I don't know how to stay still. And that is very true. I don't. I have a big heart. I like to pray over people, help them out if I can. And sometimes when you help out the ugly and then they speak the ugly tongue, that's okay. Just makes me want to pray harder for you. Because, life is very difficult for many, but it's okay. OCP left. So,
Hey,
it's
can
all
I
right.
give a shout out real quick?
Okay.
I want to give a shout out to Miss Jackie. For real, for real. Because, like, my family's been going through a flu bug that's been traveling through us. And
Mhm.
every day she's been messaging us. She's been messaging me. She's been messaging my wife to check up on my kids, checking up on me, checking up on her. She's been praying for us. And I just want to say thank you. And that we really appreciate it. And I want to send many blessings back to you. Much love, much respect. Hi, hi. Whoop, whoop. If she's still here, I don't know. I can't see the chat.
I don't know. It says 2 people are here. CP left. So, she might be listening. I don't know. But Jackie is my Bessie, and she's a very, very
I
wonderful
know
woman.
she is. She is a very nice person. I like her a lot. So does Jeff.
Oh, she's on here. She hears you. You all are my family. Always
She's
so local.
awesome.
Yes. I
She's
tell
trying to
her
get
like,
it set up for you and her to hook up together to come here so we
yeah,
all
she's
hang
told,
out.
yeah, I told her, I said, I would like to go see my kids back east and my grandbabies and my other son in Michigan. So,
Piggy!
yes, we hopefully, maybe sometime later, and that way we can get together and stuff. So, but we all got to do what we have to do first to take care ourselves and stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you're gonna go live anytime, or
Well, my son's sick. I'm not going in the woods and leaving my family when they're sick. Yeah, because Cholo's eustachian tubes are closed up. They gave her nasal spray. They gave her steroid, and
I have about 50% of my hearing.
yeah, she lost 50% of her hearing. So I don't, I don't want to leave her stuck alone with the kids and whatnot, and they go quiet and start doing their thing, and her not realize it, and or my son's sick too. I want to be here to help her and be there
right?
for my kids. My family has to come first.
Of
But
course.
I am gonna later today. I am gonna record the cryptid encounters. My encounter with the it's gonna be called the.
You need to go get them their dolly.
I know I need to go give them their doll, but if I go down there, Beb, to gift them, you already know I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be half hour, and then it's gonna turn into 3 hours because I'm gonna get carried away. If I'm on the phone with you.
You've done it before where we're on the phone with you.
Yes, I have. I don't like just going down there and then coming right back up. I like to chill with them. I like to interact. I love what happens when the camera turns off.
It's just like how when I was on FaceTime with you and you went down there and I was speaking my language, you can see and you can hear the excitement of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm honored to come and present myself to them. But in time, I told them in time. In
Mm-hmm.
time I will come. That's what I said in my language. So um I just got to get clearance and make sure I'm able to walk and not use the scooter. So
Yeah, you ain't getting no scooter in there.
no, let me put some fat tires. You see this tiny
Songa,
little scooters
Songa
with
thought
these
he was
big
gonna
old.
bring his wagon. He had this all-terrain wagon with these awesome tires on it, big mud tire things. He's like, yeah, this wagon will go through anything. I was like, no, it won't. And then Chula looked at it. She says, you ain't taking that in my woods. And he's like, yeah, it'll work. And we got here. He walked into the woods. He's like, oh no, I ain't getting that through here.
Mm-mm.
Told
No,
you.
no, no, no.
No way.
Sometimes when you think it's just like me when I'm in the clouds and I'm over there. Oh, hello. Do you want me to tell them you're here? Nope. But sometimes it's like they say, well, because I spoke to many of the councils about this, and I said, yeah, I did this, but I never get any where I have to worry or he's going to be unsafe. And they do ground their area and they do watch over them. And they say, okay, that's good. And then they asked me about other channels that I help. And I said, well, sometimes I get interfere with psychics and mediums. And that's when I back off because I am not going to, how do you say?
Interfere.
Yes.
I
So
don't
I
want no
just,
psychics or mediums. See, when I go
I
out
just,
there, I rely on my senses because I feel the energy spikes when I'm out there. I'm the one feeling the hair stand up on my arms and on the back of my neck. I'm the one feeling what direction the energy charge is coming from. I don't need nobody sitting there telling me, oh, this and that and the other. You know what I mean? How they do that?
I
And
know that's what I'm saying because I get that interference all the time, and people are saying, "Oh, Dance, Mama Verica," and I'm not paying attention or in the chat or anything, and I'm there focusing, and then when I say something, and then oh, they'll say someone
so
is
as soon as
saying
I shine, I pay attention.
they'll say, "Oh, she's saying this and that," but I don't see it. I'm like. And then I can feel the third person, which is not a Satanga or any kind of cryptid. It's a human, and I'm like, okay, I'm backing out. So it takes me a while to get my bearings together again, and then
I'm
breathe,
not
and then
saying the name of the individual, but that person don't watch me no more. But back in the day, there was a psychic person who used to watch me, and then they'd message me on Messenger and stuff, and they were getting mad because like everything they said, I did opposite, and they're like, "You don't listen to me." It's like, well, you're telling me, but I'm not feeling. You know what I mean? I'm following what I'm feeling because I'm the one who's out here. You're not out here with me in the woods.
mhm,
I'm the one who's out here listening, smelling, and feeling.
mhm,
I feel the charge in the air when something's near because they let off energy.
mhm.
You know what I
I
mean?
I told you you have to always feel. When you're coming into your area, uh,
A feather will tell you if they're near. It'll move. The feather will move.
You have to be alert because sometimes you can get an aggressive. He's having a bad day and he's going to be aggressive. That's
Like that
happened
day when
too.
Gizmo was trying to fight me, and then he got
Mama
jumped by all the
Rainfeather
other
said,
ones.
Mama Rainfeather told you way before you even went out there. You better
There
be
was an
careful.
aggressor.
There's one's going to be very aggressive at you, and he's just going to pick at you. And that was true. You
And he
know,
got
Mama
messed up
Rainfeather and
bad,
I,
though.
we're very different from mediums and psychics. And I try to tell that to people, but I don't need to explain myself. It's, I am who I am. And if those who care not to take my knowledge or tell where, what is there or how many are around, then that's good too. Learn on your own then. Be stubborn. Don't listen. Learn on your own because you're going to learn the hard way. Because as it is, it's very rare that indigenous native elder is giving you the input. So when you want to challenge and listen to other people, go right ahead.
Well, you have to take consideration too. Are you going to pay attention to someone whose culture deleted the species you're seeking intel on, or are you going to listen to the person whose culture embraces all of that knowledge of these creatures you are seeking?
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. Common sense. Common sense.
One of the mediums had sent me a message, and she said, I'm very infatuated with you. You were head on. You're right. I saw what you were thinking. I'm like, you saw what I was thinking. I said, well, where was I? He goes, oh, I thought I saw you on the tree, sitting on the tree. Okay. I'm never in the tree because I'm usually standing right by the person. And there she was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. But again, they're trying to fish out more information so they can use my knowledge. No. You're not gonna.
It's like those gypsies. You go in, they look at you, they ask you some questions, and they look at your body language, and they see like what your eye twitch or your facial feature move, because they're experts at following your body language and stuff, and then they roll off of it. And then they pick up on cues, like they'll see if they see doubt in you, they know they're leaning wrong, so they'll change the phrase up to fit the narrative to your expressions you give off.
Mm-hmm. And what I like to do is I always like to, mess with them. I redirect them in different areas every time. They are all like Billy Carson and Jimmy Church and Christina Gomez. They steal people's material in the past. Yes. Very true. I have said many, many times, is that my car? What is my husband doing? Oh, he went to go get skirting for the home. My husband does so much for some of our residents here, and sometimes I just don't appreciate it. And that's one lady she complains about kids. We built a park. We have here, it's like a little horseshoe, and we're in the middle. And we have our cornfield around the outside of the homes. There's a fence, and then we took part of the field, the cornfield, and made a little park. My husband and I dig. We went to garage sales looking for basketball things and tetherball. We rolled out grass so they can play kickball. There's a horseshoe pit right there. We bought, again, secondhand picnic tables, and we sanded down and we garnished everything and put homemade barbecue pits in the ground and everything. All that costed us about $2,000. If we bought it from the stores or the places, it would have cost us at least $15,000. But we wanted to have the kids have a park to play in instead of the streets, because this is an older park, and there's only 51 units, and we see one child already get hurt. And I told my husband, since you come to work here, I don't understand why people don't want to watch their children. And this one resident lost already an infant because she wasn't watching her child. And I kind of slipped the tongue and I ripped her rear end. And then her husband's a truck driver. And I said, you need to make sure you watch your children. And I go, we are almost done with the park. You can watch your children play in the park. That's why we got it. I told my husband, and I always get visions of something, and I'll tell him, I said, you need to go around the park and make sure everybody's okay. And make sure their plywood is up properly. And because when it comes through inspections, then we find out more secret things. And it shouldn't be. When I put my sweat lodge out, all the kids can see it, and they're like, oh. And then they say, oh, there's a monster. There's a monster. What are you doing out late at night at midnight? A little 5-year-old. So we made a letter. We talked to the corporate, and we says, may we put this letter out to all the residents? And they said, okay.
Of the time, my kids are in their room at 7:00.
Well, we had to do ruling on section 7 BRD 255.7, a code. So that way every resident knows if you are not, we can tell you, you can remove your home from our premises because you're lacking knowledge of your children whereabout, and it's unsafe. And I and my husband don't want to be responsible.
Yeah, it was like our kids are always in our sight, but I mean, we have a rule when the sun gets to a specific spot in the sky, it's time to go in the house.
Yeah.
Because that's when things are starting to wake up. And then it's time to go, hang out in your room or whatever. And then at night, once the sun is in a certain spot in the sky, you're not allowed to whistle, and you're not allowed to listen to any songs that has whistling in it.
Right.
Like the Seven Dwarfs, for instance, Hi Ho. Off to work we go. You're not allowed to listen to that after dark. They're whistling. You're not allowed. I have my rules. Chulu has these rules with us as well. Also, they're not allowed to look out the windows at night. Them blinds go down in their room. You don't touch those windows. If you hear someone calling you and it sounds like us, we're here. It's not us. My kids know all this. You know, and it's funny, you know, they go back and they tell their cousins that stuff and they get laughed at, but I don't care. We're not gonna let our kids be fooled by something.
Right. And I remember telling you many things too, what was necessary to protect my grandbabies because,
Just
you know,
like the lights, the 2 bars of lights
Mhm.
that I came to you about. I'm scared. I'm scared of those.
You know, and this is where my tribal and other tribal nations, they say, God, you've got guts. You're like, you're not afraid. You know, I believe the creator had put me here to interpret, speak with them, and don't be scared. And I do. I mean, my husband doesn't like it. He goes, why do you do that? Why do you face something dangerous? Or because I want to make sure they know that it's okay. They don't have to bring harm, you know, and there's good in them. Somewhere deep down, there's good in them. And Mama Rainfeather used to say that all the time. I know that there's good in that it. And that's why she would sit out there and smoke her pipe and speak with the satangas. And then the it will come and she says, don't harm me. I'm only here to communicate with you. I know you have some sadness and this is what become of you, you know, and it's difficult, but yes, it took her life. And I am a lot like her and my mom. You know, those two women taught me a lot. And Chief Red Hawk, well, he was like a father to me, you know, and he showed me. And when I was young, 6 years, don't be afraid. I am going to show you. They say we're not allowed to teach the women. You're going to learn because I wanted to learn. When the boys were up, so was I. Horse racing, bareback, I loved it. They used to get mad because I was fast and I'd jump over as the horse was running.
My kids like riding horses.
And you know, this is why I took my husband. I go, you know, if we can get some land either back in Wyoming or in Willamaka, either one, I don't care. I would like to bring my horses. But
Get
my
land
uncle
away
says,
from Yellowstone.
I can't.
Come this way.
It's part of my home. He's been looking in Virginia.
Come by
and
Jim. Come by Jim's house.
So when the Papa Jim's time, you still can go see your clan. Your clan will still be with you, no matter what.
I had a wild dream. I had a dream that he passed away and that these people moved in here. And I came and I tried to explain to them because I went in the sideway off the road to go gift. And I guess they seen my spotlight and I was live streaming and a dude that was living here now at the time came down in the woods with a firearm and held me at gunpoint and was asking me all these questions. And I was trying to explain it to him. And he made me gather up the gift and put it back in my bag and he told me to leave. So I left and then I went back in the woods and then I Jaka met up with me and I gave her the gift and then I pointed at the little shed that's over on the side and then I pointed up at the deck at the top and then her and Gizmo in my dream picked the shed up and set it up on top of the the second floor balcony. Back that. Oh my god! I can't say it. Top back balcony. Like put it up there. Yeah, they put the shed on top of the balcony. So when they'd open the slide door, the shed would be right there on that back porch. But that's what the dream was. And then Chula woke me up because apparently I was talking in my sleep. I was laughing in my sleep, talking about the shed being up there. And I was talking to Chaka in my sleep.
Dilly here, I
I
need
normally
to,
don't dream.
I know. I need to close up right now. I have a Zoom meeting coming up in 5 minutes.
I gotta go help my wife anyways.
All right. Love you, Kenya Cynthia. Eh?
Love,
Hi,
peace, and scratch grease.
Elder Medicine Bear Claw, thank you for coming and joining me and my son Dilihi, which you know as Josh. Thank you, everyone.
Squash topic. Yay.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bless you all.
Sorry, I have to go. I have a meeting for tribal. Bye-bye.
That's cool. Love you.
Love you.
Peace.
Ciao.